What if the one person you trust with life was the one who would betray it? Tonight, we tell a story rooted not in fiction, but in the darkest truths hospitals try to bury. This is the nurse who traded life. 48 hours after birth should be a time of joy. But for some families, it became a silent beginning of a nightmare. Across continents, from England to small towns in the United States, there have been documented cases where newborns died unexpectedly in neonatal units under the watch of a single nurse. One of the most chilling of these was in the United Kingdom, where a neonatal nurse was convicted of murdering infants in her care, a betrayal of trust so profound it shook medical systems to their core. In Chester, England, between 2015 and 2016, investigators noticed a disturbing pattern. The deaths of previously healthy babies spiked whenever a particular nurse was on shift. Experts testified that lethal substances were introduced, breathing tubes were tampered with, and fragile lives extinguished under the guise of medical care. The nurse, later convicted of multiple murders and attempted murders, refused to accept guilt, even as evidence mounted. This real case, terrifying in its facts, sets a backdrop to a narrative that stretches beyond borders, an exploration of what can happen when the line between caregiver and judge blurs. It began with an ordinary couple desperate for answers. A family came forward after routine postnatal tests revealed something impossible. Their supposedly deceased newborn was biologically unrelated to them. DNA didn't lie. The infant they mourned shared no genetic truth. Hospital administrators, horrified, began audit after audit, uncovering discrepancies in records, missing tags, altered files, and one name appearing again and again on inconsistent paperwork. This wasn't just a mistake. It was a pattern. We'll call her Mercy, not her real name, but symbolic of the compassion she once claimed to uphold. Like many in her profession, she was respected, quiet, often seen before dawn and long after dusk. A few colleagues described her as dedicated. Few truly knew her. But darker truths were folded between her clinical charts. In many documented cases, including the Chester Hospital, warning signs were dismissed. Unexplained infant collapses, sudden deaths during one nurse's shifts, colleagues who saw patterns but felt powerless against bureaucracy and reputation. This is disturbingly familiar in real medical investigations where systemic failures can delay accountability. Some infants survived suspicious episodes, others did not. Hospitals rely on meticulous record-keeping, wristbands, ID numbers, genetic labels. But when Mercy decided to take fate into her own hands, she didn't just harm infants in her care. She rewrote destinies. She switched wrist tags. She altered paperwork. She moved babies between cribs and families without anyone noticing. Her rationale, deeply personal, profoundly twisted, was that she was correcting shortcomings in the natural order, that certain children belonged elsewhere. But no one entrusted with a life has the right to decide its worth. Eventually, the walls closed in. The hospital's newly formed investigation team, aided by forensic audit technology and DNA cross-referencing, traced the anomalies back to her digital logins and handwritten records. Confronted with overwhelming evidence, Mercy broke, not with shock, but with unsettling calm. She confessed, not with denial, but with confusing conviction. Her words didn't express remorse. They suggested rationale. She believed she was guiding fate, moving babies into what she thought were better lives, but her judgment was blind. Her mercy was a lie. The truth rippled outward. Families demanded genetic retesting. Some reunited with children they'd thought lost. Others found out their child was safe, but no longer theirs. Across documented cases of birth mix-ups, even accidental ones, the emotional toll is immense. Families are left asking, what child truly belongs to us? In the UK case, justice was served, a conviction, life sentences, but questions remain about oversight, care, and how a trusted professional became a perpetrator. Newborns arrive into the world with fragile lungs and even more fragile truths. In hospitals, we assume safety, we assume competence, we assume compassion. But in rare, terrifying cases, we learn that evil doesn't wear shadows, it wears scrubs. This was the nurse who traded life, and the truth finally uncovered.